Dudes to Dads, brought to you by Dad University, is a podcast to help men understand and navigate the transition of being a single dude into a family man. How do we make sense of it all? Well, we probably won't be able to, but let's go ahead and have some fun trying. And we are back. I'm Jason Kreidman.
I'm Alan Bush.
And this is Dudes to Dads. Again. It is.
No, we should have a separate podcast called Dudes to Dads again.
Yeah, so it's Dudes to Dads 2 for those
sequel.
Outtakes.
Yeah.
For those outtakes, but we don't have outtakes. We don't have anything that we mess up on.
All the
one
perfect
take.
imperfections.
One take. That's all we do.
That's all we do.
No editing, no slicing, no nothing.
As you can tell.
We could take out my ums and uhs and likes.
Oh my God.
Someone I know
put
people
out an ad
that.
they try to put out. I'm like, why don't you just stop doing it? How about that? Right. Why spend all that time and energy and money that you're probably having someone edit and just get better at not saying and
I've tried, but 184 episodes in, I'm still doing it.
Of course, but we're not radio announcers. We're podcasters. Well, but that being said, we do
this
it
is our
less.
Radio show.
It is. Yeah, on some level, I guess, but
yeah. Well, it's just not as scripted. That's why.
Yeah,
I mean, when things are scripted, it's
you're reading off of a thing, and
right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we do have some notes that we go off of, but
notes are fine.
But I'm not reading word for word as I tell this.
Nope.
No.
Yeah.
I am not reading this. This episode is called. It's episode 184. If I didn't say that already.
Yeah.
Stop being needy, and you will get what you need.
Right on.
You can't always get what you want.
Right.
So I think stereotypically, in the beginning of a relationship, women are typically considered a little bit more needy than men.
Okay.
Would you say? I mean,
sure.
In general, I'm stereotyping as I said.
Yeah, and I've seen the opposite.
Yeah. I mean, it does exist.
Yes.
But in general, I think men think of women more needy than men.
Correct.
But I think there's a shift that when you get married, and especially when the kids come into the picture, men become a little bit more needy. And that for many reasons. But our expectations increase. Mm-hmm. And so this can manifest itself with various needs. We need everything to be clean. Mm-hmm. We need more attention from our wife. Mm-hmm. We need our kids to listen to us. Mm-hmm. We need our free time or more free time. We need more sex. Mm-hmm. We need this, we need that. I mean, it's all kinds of stuff that you talk about, like I need this or I need more of this. So let me first make a disclaimer. If you're not complaining or thinking you need anything, then you're on the right track and this episode is not for you.
Right.
You also aren't human.
Right.
So I might say, go listen to the Alien.
Go back to the planet you came from.
Go listen to the Alien podcast because you are not human. But if you have some thoughts on the idea that you have needs in your life, you might want to listen because we're going to change some things around here. That's what we do. We make impact around here. So what you need to do is reduce your need to need.
Okay.
And instead,
it's like a riddle.
Look at the reality of need versus want.
So the key word is need.
Correct.
If we were to optimize this podcast.
And if we were talking about kneading dough, it would get even more complicated.
There you go.
Yeah. Or going to your knees.
The need to need if you're a baker.
Basically, the gist of that sentence that didn't really make sense was understanding a need versus a want.
Sure.
And differentiating them.
Yeah, right.
So a need is something that you can't live without. Food, water, clothing, shelter.
Sure.
Maybe for some of us, we'd categorize some things that we need and we really feel like we couldn't live without: music, exercise, whatever. Mm-hmm. But many of the things that we state as needs are really wants. Mm-hmm. Okay. So let's review that list again and substitute it with want. I want everything to be clean. Mm-hmm. I want more attention from my wife. I want my kids to listen to me. I want free time and I want more sex. Mm-hmm. So you get the idea.
Sure.
Those are all things that we want. You may think that you need it. But wanting more of something isn't necessarily bad. But when you are requiring the action or participation of another person, you're more than likely going to fail at getting what you want by complaining about it. You know, I mean, that's the reality. If you're sitting there saying, hey, I need this place to be clean, like that's really not that much motivation for those around you to clean it.
Right.
Like, oh, we must please the master.
Right.
You know, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
So let's take that as the example, the cleaning. If you really want things to be clean and your spouse, and let's say even you have that sort of agreement, like maybe you're working more or full time and she's not, or vice versa, whatever. But basically you're upset that things aren't as clean as they should be. I kind of see three options. Let me know if you see differently. You can clean it yourself, hire someone to do it, or lower your expectations.
Sure.
Because the fourth of actually like telling them or asking them to do more is not going to work.
Right.
I mean, here's the thing. It's not going to work in the long run.
Yeah.
It might work short term, but those are the kinds of things that build up a tremendous amount of resentment. They're not going to work long term. So if you are having a sit down with your wife and you're arguing about, you're not doing enough, you're not participating enough, in the long term, I just don't think that's going to work.
Right.
So you really can end up with multiple parts of your life driving yourself crazy and those around you because of the needs that you have. Mm-hmm. So you have to realize first that these needs are really wants. Mm-hmm. And I think you need to break the want down and understand what are the options for you to solve this need,
right? Which
is actually a want.
Which is a want.
So does this make sense? Am I resonating with you? Do you understand?
You had me at need.
Can you think of anything in your own life where you maybe have used the expression that you need this, but it really is a want?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not really a needy guy. I mean, maybe space, I guess, is the only thing I would say.
Your music?
Because that's where I need the space. I need to kind of that time away for things. So I know it's a want because if I don't necessarily need to be alone every single minute of the day. I have to work. I have to go to do things. But there's a definite want I have or a desire I have for my own personal space. So people that might be involved with me on some level, they would have to understand that. So I could, like you said, do one of the three things that you mentioned. Change the expectations, take myself away in some regard, let them know. Right.
You can piss them off.
Yeah. And thankfully, the needs that I have don't usually encroach on someone else's. It's like, if anything, they just want more time. And,
but that is one.
But it's not an encroachment. It's just me removing myself from them. So it's like, it's a whole.
But it does affect other people. Like if you're with somebody who wants more of your time.
Correct.
And you are not, and you're, let's say, choosing to spend less time because you're wanting to do these other things, right? That definitely affects them.
Yeah, absolutely. Exactly.
And as I said, in the long run,
like you said, the previous example of like, I want this to be more clean and you need to clean it more. I'm not forcing you to do anything.
But you are forcing somebody else to accept less of your time. So that's what I'm saying. So what I'm saying is in the long run, that will cause a problem.
Yeah.
Because somebody, either you or the person or whatever, is not going to be happy with what's going on.
Right.
And it's either like, you're not spending enough time with me, or you're saying, well, I don't feel like I'm getting enough freedom. And it's like, and if you don't balance that out, that's the example, that's a good example, it doesn't work.
Right.
And so that's where we have to understand that it's like, it's really up to ourselves to solve that problem. Mm-hmm. You can't expect that somebody is going to do that.
Right.
And what I found in my own personal life is that I had a lot of expectations, coming into the marriage, having my kids, all these sort of expectations. And I know, because I've had many discussions about it, that became very difficult for my wife. Mm-hmm. And whatever it was, I mean, it could have been cleaning, could have been attention, could have been all of these things. Not that I just list everything that I'm dealing with, but what I found was when I stopped expecting those things, they actually became more. Mm-hmm. When I stopped expecting, in a sense, that hey, I wanted more affection. Like when I come home from work, I want blah, blah, this or whatever. Now that may not have been, a horrendous expectation. Meaning it's not something, but
I want more love.
But complaining about it instead of either talking about it or being instructional or actually changing your expectation of it or not taking it personally when someone doesn't tell you goodbye or whatever that might be.
Yeah.
It wasn't until I changed that I kind of got what I needed.
Yeah.
My wife then became more affectionate, or my kids were, more receptive to me, or because I stopped bugging them about, whatever it was. And so that's kind of the whole gist of this, is why I've titled it that. It's like,
well, yeah, and we've had conversations about this in previous episodes where the person, how they react to something changes the way you behave, right? So if you're being a like you said, the expectation is that you have to be at the top of your game all the time. You're not going to be on top of your game all the time. And not by virtue of you doing anything wrong. It's just that you're you don't want that burden on yourself. And so when
it's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, it's a lot of pressure. When someone kind of just is okay with you being yourself, then you're going to probably be more on top of your game because you're like, well, thank you for letting me be me.
Right.
Now I'm going to do extra me and be more improvement. I'm going to give you what you want.
Positive reinforcement too.
Because I've already filled myself up with what I need for myself, quote unquote.
Right.
And then now I have more to give to you instead of you
no
just
one wants to feel that pressure.
Yeah. Well, then I realized people who are negative and that type of the behavior, the thing we're basically discussing is that they drain you, so you can't do those things. Yeah. The energy level is gone not gone, but at least taken away. They become almost like almost vampiric in terms of more of a parasite.
No, that's a good,
rather than trying to fill you up with you and then let you overflow with enough energy and love to give back to them.
Yeah. No, I mean that's exactly right. Yeah. So I did explain it okay.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Although you're the one who explained it well. No, so yeah, I think that was the gist. Is you start removing expectations. You realize that your needs and your wants are your own responsibility. Mm. It's really amazing how others around you will respond.
Right.
And you will then get what you need.
Yeah.
So if you are acting needy, stop and don't act needy.
Yeah.
Take a look at yourself, realize what it is that you're requiring and what is your role in that situation. What can you do to change it? Because you can't change somebody else. Mm-hmm. And you'll find that it will become better for you.
Right.
And that's when to grow. Yeah. So that was it for today. It was a short, short sort of hard and clean.
Yeah. To the point.
But if anybody has any feedback about being needy and really wants to complain about something, what do?
They should want to email us. podcast@dudesadads.com. Hit us up on Twitter @DudesToDads, Facebook, DudesToDads.com. Please go to YouTube and check out all the videos about Dad University and a lot of great stuff from Jason on there. And go to the podcatchers and Apple Tunes or Apple, whatever they're called now. I keep forgetting. And iTunes and Stitcher, wherever you are, and you're listening to the show, please leave a review and maybe some 5 stars or a thumbs up or just to say hi. And but that also helps perpetuate the show.
Awesome. Alan, thank you as always.
Thank you.
And we will see you next time.
See you next time.